Welcome to my study. This is where I spend most of my working day, but it's also where I film the majority of my videos. The problem is, it's starting to look a little tired in here, and the furniture is very worn out and the paint on the walls has seen better days. So it's time to give it a bit of a refresh, with plenty of new gadgets too, of course. The background that you see behind me isn't very interesting really. I mean, I need to pull that blind down to stop the glare from the sun, and that wardrobe over there is where we keep our coats and shoes. So when I first started this channel, I just took a photo of my desk. I then film in front of a green screen and superimpose that photo behind me. I even add a slight blur effect to give it a sense of depth. But that's not even what my desk looks like anymore. The iMac was very old and just became too slow to use, but I never bothered updating the photo because the reality was even less interesting. So it's time for a fresh start. This room is tiny, it's 2 meters square, and it has to function as my office to work in. It's got to be a studio for filming, ideally without the green screen because it takes me ages to set that up, tidy away and then edit the video afterwards. The room also needs to be a cloakroom for the family, so I've got to keep that wardrobe. Oh, and there needs to be room for the dog to have a nap because she's very clingy. This whole project has been in planning for weeks. I've been trying to find the perfect furniture and room fittings to make the best use of the space I have. I've honestly no idea if this will work out, but I have 1 week to clear this room out, decorate and then refit new furniture and everything else that I've bought to go in here. So let's get on with it. This is a bit of a trigger warning because I am not the tidiest of decorators when I'm painting the walls, so viewers may find some of the upcoming scenes disturbing. Welcome back to the now pretty much finished studio. I guess the first thing you'll notice are these shelves behind me that I'm calling the shelves of shiz. The plan is that I'll try and change the things on these shelves around from time to time, maybe to try and make the stuff relevant to the video that I'm making at the time. You'll also see the LED strip running up the wall. Now, this is using an LED controller from SMLight and it's running WLED. I can control every single LED on that strip individually if I wanted to. Actually, I'm going to use the GoPro to show you around because there's quite a few gadgets in this room that I want to show you. So let's start with the little tablet that I've got here. Now this is running Home Assistant and it's on a Kindle Fire HD 8. So it's basically running in kids mode, and the only app that you can open up is Home Assistant, so it's just reasonably secure and it's locked down to this single display here. So on here we've got these 3 modes that I can use, and we're currently in Studio Mode 1 right now, and I can do all off or work mode, and they just run some automations that turn various things on or off. But the light controller, you can see I'm currently in a preset called Color Waves Atlantica. Let me show you there. It's sort of like greens and blues slowly fading down the strip. But if I switch that over to this one here, Color Wave Segments. I've set it so as each shelf has got its own individual colour. So of course I couldn't actually have this room without my hydroponics, so that is still there. It's looking a little worse for wear, but there is a fresh pepper sitting on that right now, so that's pretty good. It's nice to have a bit of greenery in the room as well, keeps it a bit fresher in here while I'm working. So let's take a look at my desk setup then. You can see I've got loads of these acoustic foam panels, and I was unsure if they would actually work, to be honest, but they do make it a little bit less echoey on my microphone when I'm sitting much closer. I don't know what it's going to be like right now because I'm right back against the far side of the wall, so they're probably not doing much now, but they work pretty well when I'm close up. I've also got this nice fancy boom arm which has got my camera on it, and you can see it's got my script there showing because it's basically a teleprompter there with the camera behind, and that's still recording. I'm going to push that out the way, and I can do this when I'm working at my desk so as the camera's not in the way. Up here I've got this fancy LED panel. That's a 40-watt Neewer panel, and it's just on a bracket on the wall. I can go around the back there and show you. There are controls behind there that you can use if you want to adjust the brightness, but I've basically got this set how I want it, and it's on a smart plug, so I can control the LED panel like that. It's turned off now, but let's turn it on for a bit of light in here. I've got these little tripod lights here at the moment. I've got two of them. I had them before, but I've got some little mini panels on the way. They've not arrived yet, but when they arrive I'll be fitting them on the wall. So taking pride of place in this study is my new 27-inch monitor. This is from BenQ. It's 4K, and it's got a special bolt on the desk, so it's not sitting on the desk, it's actually bolted onto the desk there with a sort of clamp. It's quite nice to use that. I used to have a 1080p monitor to edit video on. It was 21 inches. It was a little small, but 27 inches seems to be much better. And down here on my desk is my old iPad, and this is being used as a preview and controller for my camera. If I move my boom arm, you'll see I can wave my hand in front of the camera. It's basically previewing the camera, and I can control most of the settings from here. It's a useful little remote screen so as I can manage what I'm recording. So up on the ceiling, if I move the camera down, you can see those spotlight bulbs up there. Now those are Aqara GU10 spotlight bulbs. They're RGB LED ones, and you can see that one of them is currently blue, and that just gives a bit of a darker background here on the wardrobe, so as I look brighter when I'm sitting in front of it here. But normally if I'm working, I would go onto my control panel here, and I'm going to reset them so they all go super bright like that. So that's like a daylight bulbs for working, and in the evening they'll automatically dim down to be sort of a warm white instead. So you'll notice I've got my office chair sitting over there tucked in the corner. That's because I film by sitting on this little stool here, because I find it keeps my back straighter, and then you don't get the back of the office chair in the shot, which I think is a little bit distracting. Let me show you under the desk next. Actually, I'm just moving that stool out the way. I have got some extra power bars here. These are pretty industrial power bars, but I know there's 16 sockets here, but I'm not using all of them for high powered stuff. Pretty much the highest power one in there is the monitor. And then under this desk is some cable management to try and keep that all nice and tidy. So I've still got my trusty old SwitchBot blind tilt on this blind here. This is the vertical blind that I adapted in a video. I'll put a link to that up in one of these corners so you can go and look at that. I converted it to work from these normal cords to a wand controller that you can twist around to control. So this is smart controlled, and these blind slats here, I didn't realise until I decorated this room that you can just buy replacement blind slats quite cheaply. So I will put a link to where I got these nice clean new blind slats from. They're only something like £1 something each on Amazon. Absolute bargain, and it makes a huge difference to how clean this room looks. So I've tried to make sure that there's lots of extra storage in here too. I can't open this cupboard at the moment to show you because the chair's in the way, but just to show you down the side, there's my old green screen, which I keep tucked out of the way, and there's room down there for a couple of tripods too. Right, I better move the camera back into position so as I can film the outro. Right. Anyway, I hope that you found this interesting. I will put a kit list for everything I've installed down in the description in case you were curious. A massive thank you to these guys here. They're my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member or a patron, then check out the links down in the description. In return, you'll get early access to my videos and some bonus content too. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for free to see more from me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.